Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with a review. I don't know where these things come from. It's on Urania, the Italian label Urania, and it's a tribute to Nathan Milstein. And it's really pretty cool because you've got his Beethoven, Brahms, Mendelssohn, Tchaikovsky and Bruch Violin Concerti, which is quite something, on 2 CDs, about 80 minutes each, which is a deal, right? And it says here that you've got a picture of Nathan Milstein, and then it says 20th anniversary, 1998 to 2023. I think the 25th anniversary in question is that of Urania. It has nothing to do with Milstein. And then you've got this cover thing, and it says a special thanks goes to Gian Maria Masala, photographer and visual artist, for supporting our project by the creation of the image in the front cover. Well, what does this have to do with anything? I mean, I don't know. And then you open this thing, and you've got 2 CDs, decently packaged, and no notes whatsoever. You've got a piece of a track listing here, and the rest of the track listing there. You do get the dates for the recordings. It says that it's in stereo, except the Beethoven Concerto, which is from 1955 with William Steinberg, is mono. At least as far as I know, it's mono. And the Brahms is with, let's say, that's with Pittsburgh. The Brahms is with the Philharmonia and Anatole Fistulari. And the Mendelssohn is with the Philharmonia with Leon Barzin. Those are from 1960 and 59, respectively. The Tchaikovsky is Pittsburgh and Steinberg from 59, and the Bruch is from the Philharmonia and Barzin from 1959. So there you go. Now, what to make of this? First of all, the performances are superb. I mean, it's Milstein. He's great. Second of all, I mean, they're very well known. EMI has released boxes and great recordings of the century, bits and pieces. What makes a rather smart compilation like this possible is the fact that EMI has yet to do anything comprehensive devoted to Milstein. There was like a 6 CD chunky clunky box that I have somewhere around here. And then there was an icon box that had like a little bit more stuff, but not the same stuff, and that's here. And then there were a few other issues. But what we really need is a Milstein edition, because everybody agrees that he was one of the handful of astonishingly great violinists of the 20th century. I saw him numerous times playing Mendelssohn and Tchaikovsky and all that. He was astounding, absolutely astounding. Until very, very late in his career. He stopped playing in his 80s because he broke his hand, but his technique was always in tip-top shape for the most part. He had a gorgeous tone and fabulous intonation and effortless virtuosity. He wasn't as high pressure as Heifetz, but he was from that same school, that Russian school that was inaugurated by the great pedagogue Leopold Auer. And, he was one of the greats. So why hasn't EMI done, or Warner now, whatever the hell they are, done a Milstein edition? Well, they should, and maybe, who knows, someday one of them will happen someday. In the meantime, that allows labels like this, which get stuff wherever they get stuff. I mean, this can't come from original master tapes. It has to be dubbed over either from subsequent CDs or from vinyl recordings. The sound is quite good. I mean, the transfers are fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it sonically. It's decent and similar to the EMI Warner previous issues, or as similar as makes no difference. And so it's here. I mean, what can I say? You got not a single note, not a nothing. And I'm puzzled. Absolutely puzzled, but happy to have it because we should hear Milstein. I mean, he deserves to be well known. Somehow he seems to have fallen by the wayside since his passing. And aside from his legendary recordings of the Bach sonatas and partitas, people don't really talk about him as much as they probably should. He sort of owned the Tchaikovsky concerto in the last couple of decades of his life. He made his DG recording with Abato, which was fantastic. Also the Mendelssohn, which was one of his signature pieces. But his Beethoven and Brahms were equally superb. He recorded for Deutsche Grammophon the Brahms concerto with Joachim, which was like, wow, hot stuff. But this is every bit as good. I mean, these are astoundingly fine performances. Even if you do have a semi-nude girl thing on the cover that has nothing to do with anything. I mean, it's great stuff. The other thing, it got me to thinking a little bit. I just want to throw this out there. These recordings were made in the late 50s up to 1960, middle 50s to 1960, at a time when super duper uber virtuoso violinists got all of the attention in a recording. I mean, the last violinist for whom that was true was probably Perlman. And the conductors didn't much matter. And the orchestra didn't much matter. I mean, they might have been, but the focus was so squarely on the personality of the soloist. And I wonder whether our perception of the greatness of some of these soloists was in part formed by the fact that, at least in concerto recordings, they were so in front of the proceedings and the orchestra was so not as important. And whether our perception today that soloists have less of a powerful persona stems from the fact that egomaniacal conductors and orchestras, presumably, are supposed to have equal billing with them now. Because there's no question who's in charge here. It was Milstein, and rightly so. And whether they're good, bad, or indifferent, I'm just sort of curious about whether the history of the way these were handled on records makes a difference in our perception of how great the violin playing is. Because make no mistake, the playing is like up here, up there, an incredibly high standard today and then. And the soloists are just amazing. And, whether you agree with them about their musicianship or not may have something to do with how much we are subtly encouraged to highlight that aspect above everything else that's going on in these performances. So here's a little example of that, and you can think about that topic and give me your opinion if you want to. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.